New from a town, the latest action figures. Something, 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 ultimate! Hello everyone, yes, we are doing AK August, and I had notes, but at no point did I put that in the notes. I hope you're alright. Yeah, so the idea of AK August is we're doing different videos, pictures, all kinds of stuff. John Paul Guerra just did a short story for us on DeviantArt. I have to remember to put the link there, which is a fun little crossover about what if a couple of the Cy Cooper characters got AK Girl and Wonder Vixen's powers, and that's a lot of fun, and we're hoping to get some more stuff lined up for that, which I'll talk about a bit more at the end of the video. Before we kick off, I want to say a couple of shout outs. So first of all, That Cafe, who very kindly helped us out with some brownies which we got delivered to Pokemon Forge, who's one of our regular Patreon backers. We will be getting some more stuff out recently. It's just because it's a hot day out there, and it has been for a few days. The people that produce the chocolate for Sapphire, they've had to sort of wait for a bit whilst it's really hot. So been a slight delay, but we are going to get that sorted. But I just thought I'd let people know that here and now. Baobab Marketing have been absolutely awesome and very supportive for us, and they are working with us to help launch issues 2 and 3 with an event called Cupcakes and Comics. So if you're interested in sponsoring that, please get in touch. And again, we'll put a little message below and kind of talk about that a bit some more. Also, because this is a video about toys, I also wanted to do a couple of shout out to a couple of channels that I regularly watch videos from. They don't know me, it doesn't really matter, but I do just want to say Laura Legends is funny and very entertaining, and if you're an animal person, dog or cat, Muffin and Dante are adorable. But yeah, she's great. Like the vlogs and the videos, they're a lot of fun. And Dan, I've forgotten his surname, but the one that does Larson, Dan Larson, I think it is, who does Toy Galaxy. I mean, that's another great channel as well. And I love like the history videos that kind of go into the history of pretty much any toy franchise you can think of. Everything from like Thundercats, GoBots, Centurions, pretty much anything you can think of. So just throwing that in there. So yeah, how's this going to work? So I roped in a few people, asked for their ideas, and what we're going to do is I will look at the things they put, and as we go we'll try and come up with some ideas. Also, feel free to comment below, and the thing is, when you comment below, you don't have to just talk about AK Girl toys, because I am going to do a future video where it's going to open out to like all the characters, and I will kind of ask people for this again. So if you want to get involved, comment below, that's fine. So yeah, you'll have to excuse me as I will be looking at notes as I do this. So here goes. So we're going to do this bit by bit. So the first one is from another Patreon regular, an absolute legend, Nirvana's Angel. And her one is this idea of sort of a talking AK Girl with interactive parts. Now when she says that, like, what could you do with that? So I like to think that if, say, you sort of positioned them in a certain way, they would sort of say the different modes. So you could like have palm out to do shield mode, or if you did sort of like a fighting mode, it'd be strength mode and stuff like that. So I think something along those lines, kind of similar to like a Buzz Lightyear kind of thing. I think that could be a lot of fun. Next up, and this is the one which I'm probably going to use as the thumbnail, but bless him, Elie Reynard de la Fortune, also known as Capitaine Reynard. He did this really awesome picture of a sort of AK Girl Funko Pop, and I mean that's a no-brainer. Funko Pops are adorable. If we could get an AK Girl Funko Pop, that would be wonderful. Andrasu, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that right, he won a previous merchandise competition by doing a figurine based on Susie Gander's cover for Out of Shape, and that's the one where sort of AK Girl's kind of sort of covered, she's got her clothes are torn and she looks clearly in pain, and it's really well done, and he sort of imagined like what that would be like as a figurine, so that's kind of cool. And that also ties into Button the Lugia's suggestion, which is Reynard City figurines, which is a very sort of broad term. So With the AK girl one, yet again, I kind of imagine one with sort of her sort of posing mid-fight or some kind of figure. So next up, both Van Hikari and Captain Kane had similar ideas. So yeah, I mean, so sometimes, like I say, when you've got action figures, they'll have like different ones for different things. So it'll be the same character. I always remembered seeing this in the Argos catalogue, and it'd be like, oh yeah, R.I.P. the Argos catalogue, the laminated book of dreams. Sorry, carry on. So yeah, you'd have these sort of different ones. Now I think the problem is with an AK girl one is that she's got about 5 or 6 modes. So I think that would be a bit cheeky to kind of have them like all of the figures. So I like to think there'd be like one pack, or like say one action figure and then the separate things to clip on. So like I say, you'd have like one exaggerated muscular one for the strength, or like I say, Van came up with like a ripcord in a sphere for the shield. Yeah, there's different ones. So again, you'd have, I don't know, you could probably have some kind of motion activation. Again, like someone could push it and go forward for speed mode, or like clip on different character things on AK Girl for the steel mode, like an invisible, like clear look for stealth mode, and then like a little sort of blue wave attack thing for psychic mode, that kind of thing. So Sebas Chavez, and it also called Sebastian on Twitter, so both counts. I saw this on both Twitter and DeviantArt. So his one is like a stretching and shape-shifting toy. So when he says that, I kind of imagine a kind of Stretch Armstrong kind of thing, so something that people could kind of stretch around and sort of play around with. And I think that could be like a fun sideline toy. I'd like that. I mean, in terms of shape-shifting, whether you could like squeeze it in as well, yeah, I mean, that'd be a fun thing to see. Yeah, so Time Master 1320 also mentions pop figures and also mentions plushies. Now that's something that I've seen people mention on DeviantArt before, about the idea of like a big kind of inflation character plushie, which I think would be cute. And again, this is a good chance to mention, because we posted this up with AK August, which is the video of Bishy Balloons, and she did like a balloon model of AK Girls. So I'll have to try and remember to include a link to that there, so you can look at, because she did a great job with that and it's just adorable. I also took that to a networking event, and it was quite bulky and I couldn't really fit it in a bag, so I was carrying it with me, and it was a really breezy day, so it was quite an awkward thing to carry, and I got some odd looks. Not that that's unusual, to be honest. Okay, next up is the voice of Vibes herself, Hayley Ebener, and her first up she says, Lego, always Lego, or something you could inflate, which Drake Starstorm on Discord also mentioned Lego. Incidentally, a link to our Discord is part of our Patreon reward, so there we go. And Hayley then builds on it and says, like a Lego with a balloon attachment, or something similar to like a 90s toys that were sort of round with electric strings and they sort of bounced, or an AK Girl space hopper, and I think all of those ideas are awesome. Also still in the acting sphere, we have AJ Dean, who is an actor slash voice artist, so hopefully we could get him involved at some point. And yeah, he's a very cool guy. I like him a lot. So his suggestion was, say, like a squishy toy that says AK Girl's catchphrases, or like a pull cord, like that's located in the tail and the fist, so that kind of helps us sort of say the modes and things. Or you could have an interactive one, so like the AK Girl one would react to the Wonder Vixen one, and they'd sort of say nice things or challenge each other. I don't know, depending on what you'd want, or I don't know, focus group feedback. I think there's fun to be had either way with that one. So yeah, so those are all the ones that people have suggested. Yeah, I think those are all kind of really fun ideas. I mean, like I said, I kind of grew up with certain action figures, and I always liked ones that had accessories, or, you know, sort of look kind of cool. So I mean, Super Mario Brothers the film, I mean, even at the time I wasn't a big fan of, but the toys looked great, and again, they had kind of good accessories with them and kind of had a nice kind of looking mold to them. The Jurassic Park toys again kind of had hooks and things like that, so again, that would be cool. Yeah, so all that kind of thing, and yeah, I just think what I would like if we did this would be proper, like an AK Girl toy, and just like I would want the full kind of bombastic advert to just really go for it, because I think as a character she deserves it. I think she's very sort of out there, and it would kind of fit her, I think. Whereas like, I don't know, I'm not saying that Wonder Vixen doesn't do action either, and she's actually quite a brutal character in other ways, but I don't know, I think this kind of fits into the kind of style that she has. Okay, so talking of ideas and everything, this then brings us to Fan Art Friday. So part of AK August is that we are going to have a special Fan Art Friday which will be focused on AK Girl pictures. I mean, you can do other pictures if you want, but we will be showing them in September rather than August, because we want to kind of focus on AK Girl for this month, because AK August, it sounds catchy. But feel free to go nuts with this. You don't necessarily just have to do pictures of AK Girl herself. You can do, say, characters dressed as AK Girl. So if you've got an OC, you could dress them up as AK Girl. You could do, you know, other characters. What if, you know, sort of they look like AK Girl? That's another option. Different styles. So, for example, Sonic the movie, like, how would she look in the film? Yeah, you know, Marvel style, DC style. Have fun with it. You know, do whatever you want with that, within reason. That's cool, because like I say, obviously we prefer it if you kind of keep it, I always say kind of PG-13, because that gives you a bit of leeway, but like not, you know, adult. I mean, I don't have to kind of go into that really, do I? But like, yeah, we want people, you know, broad range to get involved, but you know, within a certain limit. Okay, I think that kind of covers everything. Next week's AK August is something that comes up a few times, and I don't want to say I want to address it, because I mean that makes it sound like it's kind of more controversial than it is, because it isn't. And this idea of AK Girl's inflation and weakness, so I'm going to talk about where it came from, I'm going to talk about kind of how it's developed over this period, what it kind of ties in with, because I've actually got a little bit of a story with this, and again, it's another shout out, and that's to the guys from X-Men the Animated Series, so I'll mention, because I got some feedback from them, and I was really chuffed for them to sort of look over the comic and talk to me about that, but it kind of ties in with this as well, so that's awesome. Anyway, thank you very much everyone. Like I say, thanks to all our Patreon backers, thanks to everyone, On Second Media, who recently donated to our Ko-fi. I was really grateful for that. And anyway, there's going to be links in the description for all these things, including a special thanks playlist, which we put up because there's a lot of people that make this project happen. So, like I say, we've mentioned Haley already, we've mentioned Ellie, we've mentioned you know, a lot of people that have got involved with the project, and the more people that support us, the better, to be honest. So yeah, so like I say, please follow the links, please support the people that are on those links. If there's anything you want to know about us, please get in contact. You know, it's always nice to have a chat. And yeah, thank you very much, and much love.